We were given a little discussion about wood, and I want to finish up what I think is some significant information for you. If you go back to that video, you'll know we took our wood and made piles, took out the lightest wood, sorted it by A to C grain. So now we have this wood, and I want to be real careful about. This is the wood that we're going to use. We're going to use the top of that pile that we got. We're going to break it to A to C. And then we're going to, if you want to go back and review video 32. Now we have this pile of wood. Now that we have this stack of wood, and we've broken it down by, let's say this is the lightest on the top and the heaviest on the bottom. Lightest on the top, heaviest on the bottom. Lightest on the top, heaviest on the bottom. You really only need about 4 shelves or 4 areas. And somewhere on this video or on one of the future ones I'll show the rack that I use. And this is 16th, 3/32, 1/8, and 1/4. These are really the only sizes you need except for outlines of tails and things like that. Okay, now what we want to do is I want to make a little sketch of an airplane here. So let's just use a typical stunt ship. Nothing exotic here. And there's a concept here that you have to get in your mind. If you want to get the most out of the wood you have, is the center of gravity. You should mark that off. Now you know from the center of gravity, anything forward of this center of gravity, let's just draw an invisible line here. Anything forward of here, most of all the nose of the plane, even the leading edge of the wing, can be a little bit heavy. You can use up your heavier pieces of wood here. Okay, you know when you come to your inboard tip, you want this to be one of the lightest pieces of wood on the plane, right here, even lighter maybe than the top block. The piece out here can be the heaviest block you have in the shop. Save the money on lead. You know if you have 2 flaps, 2 pieces of 1/4 inch C grain, let's use the light one here, use the heavy one here. Same on the tail. If you have 2 equal pieces and you make 2 elevators, they're obviously mirror images of each other, use the heavy one on the outside, light one on the inside. Same with the wheel pants. If you carve up 2 wheel pants and they're dead equal, use the light one here, use the heavy one on the outside. So just getting this idea in your mind is important, but now it gets to be, what I'll do is from the center of gravity back, I do this. I make up an invisible, in my mind, let's just call it this. And what I want to do is, within this circle, I want to use the heavier wood, a little bit heavier, a little bit lighter, real light, super light, and back in this last arc I want to have the lightest wood possible. So what I want to do is take the wood off the top of the pile, that goes here. Off the middle of the pile, it goes here. Off the bottom of the pile if you get down that far. Okay? As you get closer to this, forget the front of the center of gravity because you're probably going to add nose weight anyway. It's this back half of the plane. It's, and I'd say in order of importance, elevators must be the lightest wood you can possibly have. The rudder, the stab, the block. These are pieces, and even the sides. These are pieces that you really want to be your lightest wood. Then as you get up here into the flap area, wing ribs, sheeting, can be a little bit heavier. You can get into that second circle. If you keep this little concept in your mind of where you want the weight, you can do it also. It's okay if you do it this way, if you make up the side view of the ship that you're going to build. Put the center of gravity on there, and now just start to measure back. Take a compass. So this would tell you that this piece of wood should be lighter than this piece of wood. This piece of wood should be lighter than this piece of wood. And write down, if you have it, and of course, obviously, if you have choices. If you don't have choices, well, anything from the center of gravity forward, from the CG forward, you know almost every plane on the planet needs some nose weight. So why skimp up here? Let this be as solid for durability and for a good motor run. Let the nose be solid. You know, if you use super lightweight on the wheel pants, you won't have to hollow them out as much. They'll make them a little bit more durable. But you might want to check that after you've built say you've built plane 1 and it came out that it needed heavy wheels. Well, you could leave the weight in the wheel pants then. If it was the opposite way and you had to take all the weight out to get, again, that's the vertical CG, to get that vertical CG right, you want to go by the previous plane and see how it came out using your building techniques, and you may be able to get it so you can put the weight, if you're going to put a ½ ounce of weight into a wheel pant wheel assembly, let it be in the wood. Then it'll do some good. Why have a real hollowed out paper thin wheel pant that's going to crack and then have to put 1 ounce wheels in? Doesn't make sense. Just as stupid would be drilling holes in the motor mounts and the beams and everything up here and then adding 1 ounce of nose weight. Dumb. Just plain dumb. So if you keep this concept in mind, this kind of radar beam thing, you can figure out, based on the wood that you have, where the light wood is going to go, where the medium wood, and where that heavy wood is going to go, assuming you're going to use it all. Now, just about everybody I know is always looking to make next year's plane lighter. Well, that's good up to a point. Now, here's the point here. Let's use a Nobler for an example, because this is something we can all relate to. If we have a Nobler, and this year's Nobler, let's just say weighed 50 ounces. That would be on the heavy side of where we want it to be. And we want to lighten that Nobler up. We want to make it a little bit lighter. There's a lot of ways we can make it lighter and not pay a price. If we used all 6-pound wood, and let's say there were 20 ounces of wood in this aeroplane, and we went and put 4-pound wood, we would have a saving. Now the wood in the airplane would be, and we don't know what the amount, because some of it is plywood and some is motor mount wood. Let's say we could get it down to 14, 15 ounces. Because you can't really lighten up the hardwood part of it. But it's still wood. So we could shave some of this weight just in using good wood. So by having it, we would still have the same finish. Now we would have a 46-ounce ship. Now that's a good way to do it. Now, there are some bad ways to do it. Bad ways is the most obvious thing people do that I've seen that ruins an aeroplane is they drill holes in the motor mounts. When you do this, you save about a ½ to 3/4 of an ounce, and you may as well end the motor mount right at that point. This is doing absolutely nothing to the plane. Another bad idea, things that look like they work in the middle of the winter, and then when you go out in the spring they don't work. 16th ply, they try to replace it with 32nd, or even some people 64th. Now, what this means is this ship should last forever. Tradition is a good example of that. This plane may make it through the season. This plane may make it to the Nats. Now, I'm not going to say one way or another. I know some people are taking 1/8-inch wood and laminating it with carbon cloth and saving some weight by doing that. Now, Randy Smith has pioneered this. Since I haven't personally built a plane this way, I'm not going to comment on whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. You can look around and you can decide for yourself if this is worth a ½ to 3/4 of an ounce. I'm suggesting, since I have built planes with all these various plywoods, that this is definitely out. This is not my style. I would rather have the ½ ounce saved in paint. And this, the plane will last forever. And most of the time when I spend all winter building a plane and I knock myself out finishing and buffing, I want forever aeroplanes. Now that deals with nose construction. I want to deal with wing. If you make a foam wing, and I can deal with pattern master numbers real easy here, and you use built up, like the Cardinal kit is shown, rod or jig method. The foam wing, the built up wing, 1 ounce to 2 ounces max lighter. That's a good way to lighten up a wing. Here's a bad way, is to take a foam wing, any foam wing, and put a spar in it and not glass the center. If you don't glass the center, these are the things that I've found that haven't been worth trying. Okay, I took foam wings and just glassed the center of the wing. That was a saving in weight, no doubt about it. Saved 1/4 to 1/2 ounce. Fold-o-matic. Now I've seen some 2 wings this year, one at the team trials and one that I had heard happened to Bob McDonald. He had made some super light wings. See, here's the point. We don't want to make a wing that's so light that it folds, bends, or breaks. We want to make it as light as possible and still keep the integrity. I know the lightest way I've been able to make wings is by using the glass ellipse method that's on the videos. If you haven't seen those videos, get a hold of them. This is stronger and lighter than any spar. There is no spar in that wing. The only wood in that wing is if you're going to use wing mounted gear, you put the gear clips in and then glass around it. That method is shown on the videos. Okay, I have not used this method successfully. This way I have seen wings fold, seen them break or bend, or even worse, that they just come out just as heavy as a normal foam wing with the glass ellipses. This is Greenaway technology. You don't see a lot of Greenaway wings folding up on the field. This is the way I suggest you do it. And what I suggest, if you're really hot to save weight, if that's the primary thing, do a built-up wing. Put the gear in the body instead of the wing. That'll knock another ounce out of the plane and make it a lot better to fly on grass. You'll save 1 ounce or 2 by doing a built-up wing. If you do a foam wing, do the glass ellipses. That'll save you 1 ounce over the spar and glass in the middle of the wing method. But these are good ways to do it. Okay, bad way is, as I said before, when you eliminate all the wood in the middle of the wing here. If you notice on a Cardinal kit, for instance, on a Cardinal kit, the wing sheeting comes up like so, and then this piece has an angle to it. That's not a random thing. That angle is there for a reason. You know, this gives you extra strength and you don't get a stress riser. This is a good way to do it, a good way to build yourself a nice light wing. Brzezowski's wing, and what I saw, it looked real nice. Now what you want to make sure you do is when you join that wing in the center, when you join it in the center, you have the 2 spruce spars, and I call them kite sticks. Let's make this a little bit. You have a spruce spar coming in this way, a spruce spar coming in this way. You want to make that triangulated piece in between, add a spruce, and make sure this is an epoxy joint right here. Clamp it front and back, let it dry overnight, and then run some carbon fiber right across it. Epoxy and carbon fiber, unidirectional carbon fiber. And that's the lightest, strongest way of all of making a built-up wing that won't fold on you. Again, a couple of good ways to save weight on the finish. Okay, my best advice on a finish is to get all the wood block sanded and vacuumed clean before you put any dope on it. Vacuum out all the dust. Get on 2 to 3 coats of light coat, thin 50-50 or 60-40, a little more thinner than dope. Okay, sand it down again with maybe some 400. Vacuum it again, get it clean. Get on the tissue. 00 silk span seems to work the best. If you're doing a built-up wing, use medium. Get the tissue on. Get 2 to 3 more coats of light coat. Same thing, 60-40 or 50-50, depending on your conditions. Get this all block sanded out, nice and smooth. That's the substrate. Spray on a coat of silver. Pick out the mistakes, sand off the silver a few times. This is all on a video, no sense going through this over and over again. Okay, and at this point in time, make sure you don't have more than 4 ounces of finish on the whole plane, no matter how you do it. If you do, sand off the silver. If this is 5 ounces, sand off the silver. This is where you can save the weight, and all the sanding you do is going to be in the substrate and base, and then from this point on you get your color finish. And if you're going to use acrylic, dope, or any of the other finishes, and I don't suggest anything except acrylic lacquer or dope, you're going to keep that finish down in the 7 to 10 ounce range. 7 being probably the best on the planet, 10 if you get sloppy and decoupage it a little bit. This is a good place to save weight, in the 7 to 10 ounce range, in not putting on the last coat of clear, in doing the sanding early on. What happens when you have rough, just exaggerate, rough wood, you tend to fill this all in with filler. The finish winds up weighing 10, 12. I think in Lampion's case he probably went even higher. And then after the clear and everything's on here, you start sanding it down. Well, the first thing happens is you start going through in spots. But you still have all this extra paint and filler on here. And it's not necessary. It's really not necessary. So, if you think about this, you can save some weight with wood selection, save some weight with construction methods, in the fuse, in the wing, save some weight in the finish. And if you do this, if you knock an ounce or 2 out with wood, an ounce or 2 out with doing built up instead of foam, just as an example, and knock an ounce or 2 out of the finish, you'll have 6 to 7 ounce lighter plane. The motor will have a motor run, you know, and you have it, and you won't have a fold-o-matic. You will have the best of all worlds. And that's what we're striving for, is if you're going to lighten up a plane, do it logically. Do it a little here, a little there, and a little there. Don't run out and try to make the whole plane out of 3-pound wood and use cardboard instead of plywood, drill holes and things. Try to pick a method that you feel comfortable building with, and try to do your finishing in a way that most of the sanding and most of the leveling out is underneath the silver, not on top of it. And you'll wind up with that overall package, that the package is lighter, and you haven't paid the price, because there's an awful lot of light ships that don't have a motor run, an awful lot of light ships that fold a wing or just flex, and that's just as bad, and an awful lot of light ships that don't have a nice finish. They just look, you know, they buff through in spots and they're sloppy, and yet there's still 12 ounces of paint on a plane. No good. If you do it this way, you'll have it all. Now this week, we're going to be going up to the Mass Cup. Mass Cup is one of our favorite contests. We get to see a lot of the New England people. We'll get some of it on video if we possibly can. One thing nice about the Mass Cup is they have the fly-off for the Mass Cup between the intermediate, advanced, and expert. A lot of the tension mounts as you try to get your last flight and win the Mass Cup, of course. A lot of fun. That's a good part of the contest. But we're going up with alternative methods. We're going to go up Friday. And this is a good idea. Maybe you can use this here to your own advantage. I'm going up Friday with my wife, and we're going to go antique shopping. Now the reason I say this, and this is part of my program, is because I like to combine. I don't want to be away from my wife for 3 days at a time. This way I can kind of do something for her that she'll enjoy. Then what we're going to do is Saturday, we're going to try to spend most of or all of the day with Dave's new plane. You've seen the Carnivore, and we hope we get some weather. We can do some trim and some prop work and pipe work and motor work and whatever. And we'll try to get some of this on video for you. And then Saturday night, we have the mandatory party, dinner, do some socializing, bitch and moan to each other about things. And then Sunday we have the contest. Now, this is an important concept to me anyway, because I see an awful lot of people who don't include their wife in on the weekend. They would go for 3 days in a row, and maybe the wife is just sitting there looking at the moon or something. Well, this system has worked well for me, is to combine some other kind of a trip with a 2-day contest. And this has worked real well for me. I'm looking forward to the contest for a lot of reasons. Dave Cook has thought maybe or maybe not, we don't know yet, if we're going to try something new in the way of judging. Again, this week, what happened is I got about 15 phone calls about things relating to the team trials, and that has kind of snowballed into, well, we won't go into it now, but a lot of people have a lot of good thoughts and ideas as to how we should be changing things to make it a little more fair and a little more equitable. Maybe we'll get to try some of these things at the Mass Cup. Don't know, can't promise, but we will be going. We'll get some video and we'll try to do what we can. We're here in Westover, Massachusetts for the Mass Cup meet. This is Saturday. This is going to be a two-day contest, and we're basically going to try to spend the whole day with Dave Saturday to trim out his new plane, which has never been flown yet. We'll try to get some of the film of the nostalgia contest. We spent yesterday shopping for antiques, and we bought some cute little stuff, but basically here, of course, the whole crew from New York is here. Bravi, Provolone, Lampione, Borelli, all the women. Okay, so basically we're going to go over and help Dave get this new plane sorted out. And now what we always do with a brand new plane, Dave has already run this a couple of times on the ground. He's got the engine from the old plane. This is the old plane. Took the engine, Super Tiger 51, big Jim engine. Woody Midgley tank, his father made the tank. And what we're basically going to do here is get the engine one more run on the ground, make sure everything's tight, take it apart, tighten up all the bolts, get some lines and handle adjusted for it. It's an absolutely perfect day. Anybody hasn't been here, this is where they hold the Nats at Westover. Some interesting big transports go in and out of here all day. And I'm hoping the day holds up so we can get a lot of good flights on this plane. This is the first time this plane's ever been flying. You know my penchant for getting these flights on video so that years from now you can look at them, or you can at least have an idea of what kind of an experience it is when you build a plane similar to this. And both of these could be Cardinal kits. They're in theory, in reality, they are Cardinal kits. You can run right out and expect pretty much what we're going to have today. Hope we get some good flights. Most of all, see some of the problems you have on a new plane. The first thing is always to get a bench run on it.
Missed your film, I'll give it 65.
Yes, I will.
Yeah. Usually getting rid of... Fly this plane.
From Whittier, would you play? Now, as always, I've said it 1,000 times how important it is to get a ground run. Don't just go up and fly the first flight without a couple of ground runs. Something gets into the filter and whatever, and you have a 9-minute lean run, or if you have a VMAX, it could be a 20-minute lean run.
This is usually, I'll flip it over and start it. Might as well do it right now.
And like with any pipe engine, it's been sitting in a car overnight. Usually the first day, the time of the morning, pays to flip it over. You got any lighter fluid with you, Dave? Sometime a shot of lighter fluid will take care of that.
To open that needle valve more in this kind of temperature.
Should be up.
Anybody doesn't know the trick is with a pipe engine, get a couple of drops of lighter fluid, which we call Zippolini, in there, and then watch your finger. The naphtha kicks it right off. Now, as always happens with a new plane, getting it started the first time during the day is always a pain in the neck here. And it's cool out here now. It's been sitting here. But, you know, again, we're not editing things out of the video. We're trying to show you what we really went through. Realistically, this is what you can expect to go through with any new plane. A lot of little teething problems. Also, on any cold day, that lighter fluid will help even a Fox 35 start up. Good trick in cold weather. Now, while we were working on Dave's engine, it looks like Joe crashed his plane. I don't know how this happened. Through Ortiz. I'll go over there later and take a look at it. Yeah, that looks like it's... I don't know what happened. Hey, Joe, what happened? Now we'll go over there later and see what happened. Jeez, what a way to start the day. Okay, now while we were bench running the engine, some of these real cute zip ties, oh here they are, self-destructed, these real pretty zip ties, the pink ones and green ones. Maybe you want to check these before you go flying a plane. What we did, we replaced them with the heat-proof Pro Stunt products. They're a little more expensive. They're 60 cents a piece instead of a penny or whatever the other ones are, but they really do, they don't self-destruct. Half of the fuel is out of there now, Dave, don't forget. We ran half of the fuel out and then I shut it off. This is a good little tool for putting on the zip ties. Warren T-Art gave me this. It's from AJ Products, Boston, Michigan.
That sounds pretty good.
Alright, you got a new plug and a good zip ties in there. I just want to get this on a video. Warren T-Art, you could call Warren T-Art if you want to get one of these little tools for tightening. It's like a little gun, it tightens the zip ties. We had that problem with the zip ties. Now, he's changed the plug, and it still has a rough sound. I don't like this. Now, we're going to put a different plug in there. Looks like we're going to have a little action here while we're getting ready to get Dave's plane sorted out. Again, what I'm telling you here, and I'm trying to show it, I try to show each new plane that we work on, that you have these problems, and it's now this plane has not been in the air yet, and we've replaced the zip ties, the plugs, and the head gasket, just to get as many of these things solved before you go out and have a dead lean run. It sounds like a little minor thing. It's a very, very important thing. Sort the plane out, get the motor running real good on the ground. Not a minor thing. Alright, the purpose again is we're trying to show this stuff doesn't fly right off the board. Even an expert like Dave Midgley's having little teething problems while the plane is new. We changed the plug. Again, got the zip ties all changed. We want to get a nice clean run, and what we're going to do is use my fuel. His fuel is a year old. We're going to put my 5% that's fresh, only about a month old. We're going to run the rest of this fuel out and put the 5% in to fly it. Now Woody Midgley's joined us on a circle with his Thunderbird. We've got about 15 people here now. Sadly, it looks like Joe has lost the plane for good. He was was doing a loop after the pattern was over, and there's no breeze, you're in dead air, and the plane just kind of floated right in at him. Dave Cook has the tent set up, the scorekeeping. All right, we ready to fly this? Or you want to run it once with the 5%?
Do you want to eliminate the detonation first? Or see if we can...
I want to put the 5% in. Run it once with 5%. That's still detonating. We're still getting that rattly noise in there. I don't really like it. I like to get that sorted out before we fly. They don't have any coffee over there, do they, Woody? I could go for some coffee. Boy, we're getting treated to some real C5A stuff here. Anyway, we changed the motor in Dave's plane, put the other motor in. He had cleaned off all the carbon in the first one, and it just didn't feel right. Felt like I had some kind of a little bind. I don't know. We'll let Big Jim check it out. We ran this on the ground a few more times, and he's got the lines. Got pretty much everybody over here checking out the first flight. First flight of the Carnivore. Bobby Provolone in full dress uniform. We had dinner with this silly bastard last night. I'd settle if you just pay for dinner last night. You try to chintz me on that meal.
Oh, yeah.
Just because he has a heart attack, you think everybody feels sorry for him. We don't feel sorry for you.
Do I own a 100-year-old house?
Yep.
I have a 100-year-old apartment with roaches.
The roaches are 100 years old. He really does have roaches. Don't ever go to his house. He has big-time roaches. He has roaches the size of Big Jim's nose running around there. Anyway, the Carnivore, the first flight of the Carnivore. I don't know why we're so happy today.
They have tuned pipes on it.
Tuned pipe roaches. That's the greatest thing. Interesting. We had Dave Cook. Oh, where's Dave? Here he is over there. We had Dave Cook over here before for a little discussion of the team trials, maybe some of the things we can and cannot do to improve the next one. Certainly everybody's trying like hell to make suggestions that are positive in nature and help us have some a more satisfied group of contestants, I guess would be the best word. Even people that made the team aren't happy. I don't know what this has to... Oh, Dave's gonna fly. Here's a real treat. Anyway, back to the Carnivore. We're here to do the Carnivore, not Dave Cook.
Look at the age of them shoes. Like,
Junker.
I hope you're coming into...
See what it feels like. Ideal conditions, Midgley's first flight of the Carnivore. Beyond belief. I think he's going to hit me with the plane if I don't back up. The Carnivore. Beautiful Cardinal kit. Slightly modified so it doesn't look like a Cardinal kit. It's always good on these first flights. Now what we're looking for, something like a decent motor run, consistent, not getting too lean at the end of the pattern, wing kind of level, wing looks a little bit up in level flight, just a little bit. Again, I'll let Dave get a general feel for the plane. And when he lands, we'll see what things we can do. We'll try to videotape just some of his input, some of his feelings as to how the plane feels. Does it have good tension at this point in time? What's the speed like? The speed looks okay here. Take it inverted! Looks real nice in the air anyway. Give me some level laps inverted. Let's see what it looks like right side up. It looked a little bit up right side up. Looks okay inverted. As he's taking his first flight, you can see the smoke in the background. We just started getting some wind, so we'll have a little breeze here. We were in kind of dead air this morning while we were working on this, changing motors and things like that. Now what Dave did here, this is a good idea for anybody who might want to try it. He has last year's plane, same plane pretty much. Put the same prop, tank, spinner, whatever, so that the hardware wouldn't change, made the lines the same length, tip weight the same amount of rudder offset, so they have a pretty good starting point. And it looks like, I think from here, the way it looks like he's in the ballpark anyway. Certainly I've seen planes that look worse on the first flight. And of course the best tell of all is, now you're over the butterflies in your stomach. Get that over with right away. Alright, we'll see what the feedback is like when he comes down. First flight of the Carnivore. Dave Cook flying over on the other circle. Flies reverse, backwards, whatever you want to call it. And we're pretty much going to devote this day to helping Midgley, so we might not get a whole lot of video from the other circles. They're going to start the contest soon anyway. I think they're running Nostalgia and Old Time Stunt today. Now we have 2 flights on the plane. After the second flight, we got a good reading on the wing being level. Dave did a whole pattern. And it's going to need a small tab on the top of the outboard wing to get the wing level. So we're going to do that now. We've moved the lead outs back. And you made a handle adjustment to the handle to try to equal. How did it feel? More equal or less equal?
No, it's got too much up.
Okay, then take half of the amount out. You got that marked. And what we do is we mark the cable with ink. Say 1/4 inch of the cable, and then go in the full 1/4 of an inch. Now in this case it's too much, now you back out till half. Just so it's just a way of referencing where you are. Maybe I'll put that on a video in fact. We're about halfway back on the lead outs now. It looks like the tracking is real good. What does it feel like? It's tracking fine. In inverted flight even, it was tracking fine.
Yeah, it felt pretty good.
Okay, and it feels like what? Tighter inside than outside still?
Yep.
Okay.
So I want that
right on the edge. Make sure the flap doesn't hit it. Corner looks fine, even in the triangles and stuff.
Is that gonna be all right?
Yeah, that'll be fine. Probably going to need to be bigger than that, but we'll fly it once anyway. You got good air here. Get flight after flight in on the thing just to get comfortable with it.
You don't think that's going to fall off or anything, do you?
Nah, you got tape on it? Nah, that's fine.
Yeah?
When you go home, make it out of clear plastic and glue it on. You know, or put it on with the bolts and screws or whatever. Put 2 pieces of tape on it if you have to. What, do you got a lot of wax on here?
No, I've just got it on with tape.
Yeah, that's all mine's on with is tape. Well, get it better than that. Get better tape. What kind of tape you have?
I think I got half decent tape.
That piece is made of half
Jimmy Borelli down the back circle. I guess they're getting ready to start the contest.
Good in the air?
Looks great, yeah. I want to get the wing level first of all. Most important thing, get the wing level. The motor run seems great. It was steady right through the whole flight. Now here's a tip that'll help you a whole lot. What Dave's going to do is take an ink marker. Let's put this on the video. Mark up the cable. Put some ink on it here. And now you have a little reference, like now you can go in half of that thickness. Let me get on a macro lens.
It's in the shadow. There
You can go in, we'll take that cable and move it in. See, we can go in half of the amount, all of the amount. And for this adjustment, we want to go in half of the amount, just like that, and then lock the handle in again. This gives you a reference for getting neutral. Now, the first flight, what we had was, he had too much down, not enough up. Now he's got too much up, not enough down. Now, if you don't have a reference point on the handle, what happens is, you keep going too much up, too much down, too much up, too much down, and you go crazy. If you put a reference point on, the ink acts as a reference point, you can usually get it in 1 or 2 shots. Good tip. Okay, we're looking to see if the wing is level here in this flight. It was down inverted. Still down inverted, the tab's got to be bigger. So now what we'll do after this flight is we'll double the size of the tab, just scotch tape it on. When it gets to the point where it's real close, you just keep going up in halves. If it's too big, you cut it in half. Then if that's too small, go halfway. Go halfway in between up or down. The easiest way to zero it right in. It's a lot better than it was. It's still down inverted by a little bit. Well, let's just let them get some flights on a plane and get comfortable with it. If you've been watching a series of tapes, you know what we went through with Bobby Provolone's new plane. We went nuts the first couple of weeks. Maybe 3-4 weeks, it was just making us crazy. We eventually got it sorted out. This looks like it's going to sort out real quick, though. Once he gets familiar with it. Now, see, it's still down a little bit inverted. Just a little bit down. Now my guess is Woody, we're going to wind up making a tab twice as big. He's about halfway there. He brought aluminum with him, or does he need stuff? We got a soda can with us? You got a beer can, a soda can? Looks like it has a pretty reasonable smooth corner. Holds the flats good. What we're looking for here is to get it turning equal. It isn't turning faster one way than the other. My guess is we could take some of that nose weight out. He's got a big chunk of nose weight in there. That'll make it better. now we have the information we need for the next trim session, and we'll wait till he lands and get the bigger tab on. Feels like we're getting some wind here now. Now we'll just go as far into the day as we can. Now on this flight, taking an ounce of nose weight out, larger diameter prop. This is 11.73 blade, Brian Ether prop. Slowed the plane down a little bit. The lap times is slower by about 0.2 here. The double size, he's got the copper trim tab. Double size tab looks about right. I think the speed control, the pace is a lot nicer here with the plane flying a little slower. And we're in ideal air. This is really nice, so we don't want to waste any of this time. Now it's important, you know, and I hope some of this information, like the little tip on the handle, or some of the information, or just seeing how one of these ships gets trimmed out. We hope we're going to be able to do this in one day. Or get Dave as comfortable as possible. This prop with less pitch seems to wind up in a wind a lot less. What we wound up doing is taking the Dave's small pipe off and putting on the big pipe. He's got the pipe out of the green cardinal on here now. It's running nice and quiet, in fact. And we're just trying to verify that we have the wing reel level here. We'll look for any spot that it's going real soft. It certainly looks like it turns real nice. For a plane that's only, this is I think the 4th or 5th flight. I think this is going to be a good one. Certainly this is coming together as quick as you can expect. Nice top on the hourglass. Nice corner, holding the speed nice. So in the time that we've been here, you can go through the trim changes that we've gone through with this plane. Get a feel for just what we've done, the order in which we've done it. Now by taking nose weight out, what we're going to do now is if it feels too touchy, rather than taking more nose weight out, what we're going to try to do is just move the lead outs back maybe 1/8 of an inch to get the tracking back. And getting that relationship between the lead outs and the center of gravity is always probably the single most critical thing in trimming out the plane. And maintaining it as you retrim the plane time after time is important. If you move the CG back, the lead outs should go back. If you move the CG forward, the lead outs should go forward. And it looks like one of the things he's going to want to do is bend the landing gear forward just a little bit. Wound up using 5%. He wound up using my fuel, in fact. Okay. It's just around noontime, time for a little break. Relatively successful morning with the plane, and the air is holding good. They say only lizards sun themselves on a rock. Here's a human sunning himself.
Feels good on these old.
Woody the lizard.
Better believe it.
Enjoy it while you can, old man.
It's a long, cruel winter. Oh, I like that tank. 1 burp and 2 laps.
Yeah, Woody, you know how to make a tank. Now if you could only teach him how to land.
Well, the gear will stay in.
Yep.
The rest is me.
All right, the nose weight feels about right.
Yeah. What did it
If you want it to turn a little tighter, move the lead outs forward. If you want it to turn slower, move them. It's real close. It's tracking, the wing is level, and the motor's running like a motor run. Let's go practice. Let's get some flights. I'm going to take Karen down to the hangar. You want me to pick up some lunch?
Yeah.
All right, let me do that, and we'll be back. You can have Woody launch you for a half hour or so.
Who's over there in the corner? I'm going to move over there.
All right, why don't you move over? Let's see what happened, Woodka.
Just clean the top.
That isn't even a real crash.
No.
You're just jealous of Joe Ortiz.
Just made
A combination.
a Bob Hunt rudder.
A combination Genesis and Thunderbird here. Nice canopy.
Yeah.
Holy
That's
crap.
the worst part is the repair.
Yeah.
That's not bad either.
All right.
You know anybody that has canopies?
I know it.
Woody, you said you weren't going to drink during flying
I know
days.
it.
I don't
and
know.
there's not a mark on the bottom. And the rudder was completely intact. So
Make it a Dave Cook plane. Put the wheels on top and fly it the other way
not
around.
so bad.
Gee,
mean,
2
it's not a
crashes
mark.
today. I don't know.
It's not a mark.
Now, after a nice lunch break, what's happened is, and we're really happy to see, is Billy Suarez is back. He's got his plane all repaired. And it looks like it seems to be flying okay. And we'll go over and see Bill later and get the story on his plane. This is the one he had crashed right before the Nats. He missed the Nationals and the team trials. And he's got it back together and we're flying. Doesn't look any worse for wear and tear here. Now, that's one of the advantages I like of having a plane like the PM or a PM, is when you repair them, if you have to, you put an ounce or 2 extra on them and it doesn't seem like the performance deteriorates a whole lot. In fact, Barron's at the team trials was 81 ounces and it seemed like it flew pretty good. Now we'll go over and see how Billy's doing. Dave's ready to take another flight here, back from lunch. Getting friendly for the first day here. We've moved circles too. This was a good, I guess as far as first days of new planes go, this was about as good as it gets. Since we've gotten back from lunch too, it looks like the wind is kind of gumping up here. So we'll see what kind of quality of life we have later on in the afternoon here. Real good to see Billy Suarez back though, and good to see we've gotten accomplished what we originally drove up here for in the first place, was to help Dave with his plane. Yeah, well, as the day gets hotter and hotter, you got to go in on a needle. I hope he's been going in a click once in a while. Did he switch fuels? Or is he still using my fuel? My fuel has extra oil in it, so we'll see.
Take my flight.
Nah, not yet. I'll tape a flight of yours, don't worry. We know you're a hot rod flyer.
I just got hooked by a
Up and coming national champion, Bulbaceous Cook.
All I know is I'm gonna whip all the juniors' butts tomorrow.
You're gonna whip the juniors' butts. Do I have that on video? Is this ego problem, Cook?
What?
May not be any.
Well, Dad told me that.
I flew into a building.
Right there.
Look at this as we're flying. Bombacious. Yeah, what an ugly face. Get that face out of here. Does your mother know you're here?
I think my brother is the most toughest opponent I'll face.
I'm the toughest opponent you'll face.
You don't fly airplanes.
Who are you supposed to be, Michael Jackson with those glasses?
No.
Anyway, we're having a good day. Day's turning out nice. No complaints. C5A's taking off, giving us some nice wake turbulence to deal with. Yeah, move it in. We don't need any more accidents. No, no way. That'll ruin his whole day.
Ruin him for the next year.
Yeah, he's got his Aries started, doesn't he? Starting an Aries anyway. Said he's going to start an Aries. We'll talk to him later. Well, when you decide early on in life that you want to be a millionaire, you got to pay. And the man has obviously decided he's going to have more money than Donald Trump by the time he's 29, so watch out, stock market. Watch out, Aries. Whoa, you got a little soft there, baby. Hey, 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 hey. There are not many people fly in from the moon. Tom Morris
Really?
flies
in from the moon.
Nice
Doing the moon. How you doing, guy?
Good. How you doing, Tom?
Wendy? What's that? This your plane?
All right. Good to see Tom. He's been living in Hawaii. He hasn't flown in a while. They're going to get a handle in his hand before the weekend's out. Now what we're doing now, I flew the plane a few times, so I flew it once. He's going to fly it now. We want to try to prop, the wood prop that I had made up at the team trials. And the wind has come up a little bit, and we want to see if this is going to penetrate a little better than the 3-blade we had on there.
Watch the neck on the propeller. Real close. Makes it interesting, don't it?
Yeah, just don't launch it cock-a-ma-poo here.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it go nice and easy. I'll have to do the old.
Now we got a different handle on a hand with a little bit longer arms. See if we can get it to rheostat a little better. Now with so many changes, I want him to be real careful on this flight. Change the handle, change the prop, took all the nose weight out. Even the nut on the spinner is an aluminum nut now. Should get another plug in there. That plug didn't sound so good. What's in there now? One of those Fox Miracle plugs? With no idle bar?
I don't know what's in there yet.
Yeah, I think you'll have to...
Want to flip it over, David?
No, you can change it this way.
Right through. Christ, everybody on the East Coast, I think, flew it.
No, there's a couple guys on Hawaii now. Herb's friend, I can't think of his name. I got it written down home. He's doing Cardinals too.
That's good.
It'd be good if you could hook up with them, you know, and get together.
Go back in the valley.
What else did you talk to you about the prices? What's happening?
Woody, I'm going to start. You know, I'm going to start when I go back, and gotta get this guy.
Billy Suarez down the back circle practicing his tail off. He'll be competitive tomorrow. Always a good flyer in the wind. Anyway, what we did get from Dave Cook today, we got all the scores of the team trials. And not a moment too late, only about, well, it's almost a month. Anyway, we'll go home and analyze them and see what we can come up with. Trying to come up with some positive, constructive thoughts of change, and certainly our event, if we don't change, it's going to turn into World Championship Wrestling. It's pretty much everybody's conclusion that if you get to pick the judges, you can pick who wins just by picking the judges. Various judges had various people in first place, second place, and third place. There was no consistency to it at all. If you take one judge out of the mix, everything changes. Two judges out, everything changes. Very inconsistent. So we're going to look at some other ways, maybe constructive suggestions we can do. Make that situation a little better. Glad to see Billy's back, flying up a storm. Good to see Tom Morris here.
You know, I bought it when it was just me and the kids.
Yeah, it's getting late in the day. This is pretty near the end of the day. We did get a chance to try 2 different motors, 2 different heights, several props. Had a pretty good trim day. And we're running out of battery for the day, so we're going to kind of pack this in. Try to pick this up tomorrow over at the competition tomorrow. This morning we got up, this is Sunday morning, and of course it's pouring rain. They're still going to run the contest, but they're going to get a limited amount of video with the rain coming down. I don't like to get their camera wet, that's for sure. But they do have, looks like about 20 entries, so I guess we're going to have ourselves a contest. Seems to be emotionally recovered from losing his plane yesterday. Let's hope so. Guys from Albany are here. The Massachusetts guy there, Scott Smith, has his students that are building the planes down his house here. Billy Suarez is here, Leon Bowen. Doug Cook's son.
You said 6, so there should be 2 more.
Well, I got my flight in, and it was a beauty, believe me. And it's Ray Suarez is getting the best air of the day here, as usual. Best air of the day, Suarez.
Call the Bob Barron hotline. Jacoby and Myers are stud.
Jacoby, Myers, and Barron. These guys are so bad. So bad.
Are you taping this stuff?
Absolutely. Hey, you're the president. Listen, here's your Pampa president. Always dressed in white.
Didn't bother taking a shower at home
Hey.
this morning.
Hey, you just be Pampa president, you get a free trip to China after 25 years of service. Whether you need it or not.
It's worth it.
Of course, it's a one-way ticket, but they don't tell you that.
Yeah, we'll see. You ought to see the new team t-shirts. They're almost ready.
Oh my God.
Dynamite. 3D holographic.
That's what we need.
Really?
Neon colors.
$50 each.
Neon colors.
One color.
Ah, he's got the best ad of the day.
High humidity, bud. That's the only thing.
Low humidity. This is a low humidity flight.
Wait a second. I gotta wipe my brow. Sweating. I just flew. He's sweating. Need windshield wipers.
And don't worry, Bill, no matter how bad this flight is, we're going to have it on video for you. Watch it over and over. Oh, no, hey, hey, hey. Protest, protest. I'm protesting.
Pretty effective. Just put it in. This is a test. This is only a test.
Listen, Prez Busso. The Ross Perot of stunt.
I'm everywhere. I do.
Welcome to the 1993 Mass Cup Submarine Contest.
Model submarines being awarded extra beauty points.
The mop and glow special.
Hey, where's Connors? He didn't show up?
He's up now. He's here.
Oh, he got here. Oh, okay.
He's flying right now.
Well, I can't shoot out that side of the car. There's too much rain.
It'd be worth it though, boy. Look at that.
Woo! Is he flying up periscope or down periscope?
You've heard of pro stunt. This is umbrella stunt.
The Umbrella Nationals. Leave it open, Ter. Give him something to do this afternoon. Get the fish out of his toolbox. Oh, what a thrill it is being here. For those of you who missed this contest, you did the right thing. Stay home, turn the heat up, put a log on the fire. It's brisk. It isn't cold here, it's brisk. Feet feel like they're in ice cubes in cement. Plane's turned to 9 pounds. Damarel stuffed his plane in on the triangle before it just got too heavy to fly and went bloop. Oh well. Good to see Billy Suarez back in action after a long delay fixing the plane.
I think we'll wait for starting gun.
Hey Bill, it's good if those tacks get wet. They work better when the batteries get wet.
Just go ahead and start flipping. Because it's just kind of wet weather. All right. Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
You know, we can't tell what a battery's doing in this stuff.
Nah, forget it. Especially Suarez, he never buys a new one. He keeps using these old ones. Ah, Terry's back to block my view. Another protest being lodged. Oh, man. Come on, Suarez. What a joy. What a thrill. Am I glad my flight is over. Oh, my God. Busso has to fly yet, too?
No, he flew.
Oh, Busso flew already?
He flew before Billy.
Oh, my God. What a
Missed
thrill.
that good flight, huh?
Yeah. Well, he cheated, though. He practiced yesterday and today. It's against the rules. Can't do that. If you're the Pampa president, you got to just come out and fly. Put some whiskers on that pattern. And of course, Bill being the previous Mass Cup winner 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I don't know, is the odds-on favorite to repeat. He's like the Paul Walker of New England. Paul Suarez. Paul of New England. of the momentous moments of stunt. The day for the B-17s. Traditionally, the winner of expert, the winner of advanced and intermediate, I don't think they include the beginner, would fly a final flight, the final flight, and they would go by the percentage of the score, that your score went up from the winning flight to the final flight, or in some cases the least amount down. And previous winners have been decided on half a point, third of a point. It's always been an interesting thing. Always been a fun thing. I don't know how today's is going to go, but with this rain, it'll be exciting. It's like a football game played in the mud. A lot of slipping and sliding going on, and we will have a lot of fun. Looks like there's a lot of tip weight in this thing. It's flying sideways. Better oil those wheels, Bill. It's only rolling 3/4 of a lap here. Steve Busso's second official flight. Steve's in third place right now.
This thing, yep.
I never have enough. There's never too much video. There's only not enough and just the right amount. People around the country want to see what a star you are. Now that you're the president and everything. Right, Bill Clinton be calling you on a regular basis?
El Presidente.
El Presidente.
I told him to quit calling me, so.
Comes a palace revolution.
Yeah.
The guy is a pest.
I'll put your home phone right on the cover of my catalog. That'll get you some phone calls from irate Cardinal customers.
Are they irate?
They're all irate.
Are they?
Hey, let's keep the line for the outhouse neat over there.
Which pocket?
Well, I got actually pretty good turnout for a rainy day. The rain has temporarily stopped, not totally. Actually, they have about 20 contestants, so I guess it's a pretty good turnout here, considering what's happened with the weather. Even had Ron Connors show. Is this Ron flying now? I can't tell you. Yeah, that's Ron. Ron Connors, the closest thing to an amphibious duck. Uh-oh, Ron's in his underwear again. Hope he's got his pants on. Now from here you can see how high his bottoms are. You can drive a van. He doesn't even go underneath the van. They say the only guy that can do that is Ted Fancher. Well, Ron can do it too. You can put a van underneath his bottoms. Look at this. Unbelievable. Boy, the plane just about disappears under the van. Remember we used to tell Glenn Metter we'd do that? We could drive a van out underneath his wing over? Disrespectful. No wonder the guy's out of the event. You guys harass him so much. Glenn is busy raising geese. Anybody that doesn't know, he's into raising geese. Not where he's concerned. He's hoping they can let, the people get a thing like chicken. They'll start eating them and he can make a fortune. Ron the Moonshot Connors, known as the General Electric. Whoa! What the hell was this? What is this, a new maneuver? Oh, he left out. Hey, Ron, sobriety. Giving Ron the sobriety test here.
He left those out last time, didn't he?
He did 3. He did 2 and then came around and did 1 again. What's going on here, Connors? He's flying out of the roof of a van here. You can see he's got the moon roof. Can't say the word moon around Ron. Moon roof Connors. Anyway. Back to the expert circle. Dave Cook's grandson getting one of his beginner flights in here. And he did do a loop this time. Hey, all right. Now, if you think this is funny, this is how they work on these big planes. The fuselage doors close around the body and just the tail hangs out. They have this big giant scaffold for working on the back end of the plane. Cool. Use this on our next pattern master. We can make a scaffold for painting a rudder or something. With everybody drinking hundreds of cups of coffee, there's been a run on the restroom here, facilities. The first time all day there hasn't been a line here. Uh-oh, here we go. Scott Smith making it to the moon room here. Ah. So, second official, Mass Cup, round 2. Breezy, rainy, damp, wet feet, cold. Many trips to the outhouse. Feels like it's about 40 degrees out. Everybody's wearing coats and shirts and all kinds of flannel and velour underwear and fuzzy pajamas. Getting ready for his second flight here. Boy, it's cold. Ooh, damp, cold. Unbelievable. Not pleasant. This is not Bill Rich in Florida weather. Tough guy stunt. Cold guy stunt. Tough guy. Check Jim Damarell's plane, not too much damage. I think he's going to be able to fly it again. He pancaked it in. Suarez, second official. He's in, in second place as of right now. Obviously, with the good air, things can change in a hurry.
So there we are. We're even for the start. Good. Fair enough.
Well, it's late in the afternoon and the rain has completely stopped, at least temporarily. It's actually, if it wasn't so cold, it would be a fairly nice day to fly. Just come out and fly and have a good time. All the guys from New York went home. Now, Joe Ortiz, of course, crashed his plane. Borelli, Lampione, they all left early. They didn't fly the official flights. And we still had 6 experts and experts, so 6 entrants. So I guess all in all, it turned out to be a halfway decent day. Still have to fly, of course. Second round isn't finished, but we are getting some nice weather here. Ground is still wet. Bill Suarez, second official flight. I can't tell you how happy most of the people are here to see Billy back. He didn't come to the last couple of contests. Obviously was busy. Missed the Nats, missed the team trials. He was really out of it for a while, but it's good to see him back. Duso giving him a launch, and we'll be ready. This will be a second official flight. Leon Bowen, Dave Cook, the judges. No rain, 5 mile an hour. You can see the breeze on the little banner in the back. Actually nice, no sun in your eyes weather. You don't even need sunglasses. It's a good day. Suarez, second official flight. And we are very fortunate here to get the rest of the flights in under some, well, relative to this morning, some real decent conditions.
You at the same old number I got you from Tampa?
Yeah, just leave a message on the machine.
Okay.
Bob Hunt's old Crossfire somehow showed up here today, but Bob Hunt didn't. I don't know what happened here. Anyway, let's see.
Rick,
Oh, Rick Campbell's here flying
All right.
unofficially.
look at this guy fly. Oh, grease.
Oh! Greases it in.
Look at that runway. I cannot believe what.
Scott Smith with the original Tune Pipe Prowler here. And the real Scott Smith. The real one, the legendary one, the boombastic one.
Here, pipe.
Female rights activist, Scott Smith.
I had no airspeed, right? You know, and it hit this ground and bounced and took off and went 15 feet in the air. It's a flaw.
All right, Gonzo. It looked like it was flying well.
It is. I'm not.
Well, now that you're president, you get an extra 70 points, 80 points.
Why do you think
Sometimes you get 100.
Why do you think I ran?
Maybe I should run for
I'm no
president.
fool.
That's just the China that everybody goes for.
Now you know what it is.
Oh, oh yeah, I know. They better have one American, because they don't have a good track record. They don't have an American. They're home state. Bring them home. That's another thing you should do. That is an outdoor tachometer. That'll pass. Run 900 RPM with your foot. Outboard tap right here. Outboard tap. Well, the contest is almost over. Wendy was the winner and expert. Suarez was second. Steve was third, I believe. It was just a practice flight. And we had to fly off for the Mass Cup. My score went up 6%. I think Jim Damarel still has to fly. And then we'll know the winner of the Mass Cup. Whoa. I was itching to fly this plane, but my wife's getting ready to, wants us to leave. We got about a 3-hour ride and some bad traffic on the way home, so we're going to look at the scoreboard and I think we're going to pack it in today. Did Jim Damarel fly his flight yet?
No, not yet.
Earl Midgley is the leader in intermediate here. Earl the Pearl at 440. Oh my God. Earl, I'm gonna raise the rent. Let's see what we got. Beginner. Brian's ahead of Joey Cook. So far, that's for the fly off here, and of course it's the percentage you go up. I don't think Damarel didn't fly yet. Let me squeeze by, get to the other side here.
I got it for like $5. He was dead. They were tag sealing his house. I saw it. Those things are around if you look.
Yeah.
But you lose a lot of wasted time.
Yeah. For yesterday.
Hey, you're here again.
Can I get your interview here, son? Who's the leader in this contest? You? You are?
Well, actually, he's winning right now. But
Who's winning? Who's winning? McCarthy?
Yeah,
Brian McCarthy's ahead? I see a protest coming. Uh-oh.
Ahead by 3 points.
He's ahead?
Yeah, he's ahead.
Oh, but you're gonna fly still.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly after him, and he's gonna fly after
Yeah, you want to fly last. The judges always balloon when you fly last.
Yeah, so you better tape my flight, okay?
I'll tape your flight if I have any battery left. What's your name? Brian McCarthy?
He's the one who's in first.
Okay, now you're the one that's in first. You're like the Paul Walker here, right?
Yeah.
And you're like the Windy.
I've got 203 points.
Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Look at that, throwing things at me. All right, let me guess who I'm rooting for here. Which one of you guys, how much money you got?
A buck.
A buck? I'll take it.
Nah, I got
I'll
5.
influence this contest.
I got 5.
Let's teach them look. Look at these kids.
This is my 5th buck.
Steven's got
For $1, I can fix it that you can go to China on a
I
team.
got
5. You can go to China twice. 3
Steve,
times.
hey.
Good mathematics.
5 times.
Wait a minute. Steve, look, here's a...
I've got 203 points. He's got 206.
How much money you got, Bucci?
Let's see.
Couldn't make it past the Go-Go Lounge last night, huh?
Go
That's
by
20.
the judges, okay?
Sure.
Go by the judges.
Show them. Show them how you get.
Hey,
Come on, show me. Give me that money. Look. Give me that money. Way to go. Now, money talks in the world. You can buy tune pipes with this money.
By the judges.
Oh my God. But you got to make sure you give it to the judges, not me, because I'm just video king.
Oh, yeah?
All right, who's flying next here? Come on, you bozos. Who's next?
Flying next. That's the second plane. That's the beautifulest.
He's the beautifulest. Who got the concourse award yesterday? Who got the? That's what I won. Who cares about the Walker Cup? Who got the concourse award? I don't know. These look like Monaco to me. Earl Midgley at a smothering first place defeat here coming his way. I don't know. Whoop. This guy was so poor he couldn't afford paint.
This guy's simplest. No.
He saved his money.
No paint.
He saved his money to go to the Go-Go Lounge and then he couldn't afford paint. What's your name? What? Say it again. Hey, those hands away from my camera.
Let this go.
Wave to the camera. Say hi, nice Windy, the nicest guy in the world to stunt.
Let this go.
Hi, nice guy.
Let this go. Hi, Windy. Your hat's gonna blow off in a minute. Look at plane.
You guys have no respect.
Look,
No
okay, let me see your hat.
respect.
Let me see
You
your
want to
hat.
buy my hat?
No.
That's
you
my
got
lucky
it
hat.
Folded wrong.
My
You gotta
daughter gave
fold
me
it
that
wrong.
for my birthday.
Look, you gotta fold it like that.
What's on your...
Totally like that.
Well, fold it for me.
Okay.
I want to be professional like you. That's my hat. These goddamn kids.
Wendy,
You gotta fold it
by the way,
like that.
this is my favorite t-shirt.
Let's see the
This is
t-shirt.
my favorite t-shirt. Matches my jacket.
Right.
Ugly.
It says Pro Stunt. I wear this at work all the time.
Oh yeah, that'll get you a raise at work, I'm sure. Get you fired
You gotta
from your
fold
job.
your
You'll be
hat
on
like
welfare
this.
if you wear that
You
more
gotta
than
fold
once.
your hat like this.
Hey Earl!
Close up. Do a
Earl, I
close-up.
heard you're in first place here. You're
Do a
smoking
close-up.
them.
Yo,
Oh my God.
do a close-up of
Drink
yourself.
more Dr.
I didn't
Pepper.
crash.
I
Do a
won him. He had a
close-up
fly
of
to catch
yourself.
me.
You didn't crash. I gotta kill you.
Not that cute.
Oh, we forgot. We're on TV. Crash.
Yeah,
We're on TV.
I hate kids.
Better send me a tape of that. Better
Even
send me
more
a
reason
copy
they
of
should
that.
make birth control mandatory to the age of 70. Who's flying now? Let's get some flying. Enough of these kids.
An old guy.
Can't have any fun at these contests.
Don't you think this guy is cool?
I'm the only one here that's cool. I'm so cold, my feet are wet.
Cut the screen! Cut the screen!
It is the lovely wife saying, when are we leaving? When are we leaving? When are we leaving? When are we leaving? Now to show you who has the best wife here. Billy Suarez and my wife stuck it out. The Borelli woman and the Lampione woman made them go home early. They missed a great flying day, a great contest, a great day in the world of stunt. History was made on this circle today. Hey, actually, Damarell and I think Midgley still have to fly this fly-off, so don't go home yet. Have to stay for the fly-off. Awesome.
Yeah, we're playing with it.
This is yours, Scotty? Whose is this?
No, this is Hummel's.
Hummel's? Bill's? Hey, he's coming along, man. I gotta look in the mirror more often.
Smith Stunt School during the
Smith
winter.
Stunt School. Wait till you see Wendy's Stunt School when I get this house finished. I'm gonna take only totally unqualified, brain-damaged people.
This is the one that Scotty put the class on.
Yeah, this is good.
Basically, Jim.
Suarez, want to grab my thing?
What is it?
Jim Damarell's getting ready for his second official kick Wendy in the ass flight. I don't know who's gonna kick my ass here, Midgley or Earl Midgley or Down. They'd both love to do it too. Come on, Jimmy, baby, I'm saving tape for your flight.
I got 5 more over here.
Forget it.
Nice warm and sweaty too.
What do you got in there, Rick? That's VMAX?
Yeah.
40?
Yeah. VMAX 40. Like I can remember.
With a plastic tank or what? A metal?
Plastic tank.
Plastic?
The only one that was big enough to fit. The metal tanks is too long.
VMAX power here at the contest.
I was kind of lucky. I actually remembered which handle to put on the airplane.
This was a good day for pattern masters. The pattern master, the choice in the rain.
Because if it gets heavy,
1, 2, and
it'll
3
fly.
pattern masters. Oh God, heaven forbid.
Questions.
Now, Rick's a little confused. He thinks he's fueling up an outboard engine here by mistake. He picked up the can of fuel for the mercury oil for the outboard here.
Oh man. What is it, a tie between Twinkie and Twinkie?
Now Steve Busso's on the back circle. I'm going to get the flight is next. Waldo's flying it now. And I'll get a flight on it right after Waldo. It turned out to be a stunt heaven day. This has absolutely gotten better and better as time's gone by. It's an awesome day right now.
To the executioner.
I'm going to send this tape to Randy Smith to show him how his motors run up here. Give him a nice lean run. Has wrote in many Nest newsletters how he never gets a lean run on his VMAX. So if this thing goes lean halfway through the flight, he's dead. This is the man who never gets a lean run on his VMAX. Okay, there we go. VMAX time. Rick Campbell, editor of the Nest newsletter. Just bought a yogurt shop, getting fatter by the moment. One of the nice things is at the end of a contest when the air is good, and it's absolutely beautiful right now. And when you get to fly each other's planes, it's really a thrill, really a lot of fun. And before we leave, we will get to do some flying on some of these OPP, other people's planes. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not eggs. Do not readjust your TV. It's not Easter time. These are not eggs. this has turned out to be a good meet. Even though this morning, and you've seen the tape of the rain, it paid to stick around. It was a good day. Except for the fact that my wife is going to kill me for sticking around. Ah, what the hell. We did our antiquing. Now look, these are not eggs, ladies and gentlemen. Measure the width times the height. These are not eggs. Rick's Egg Company. Oh my God. We never critique flights, do we? We're running out of battery. We're not going to get much more on video today, I don't think. But we did have a hell of a day. We don't know who won the Mass Cup yet. We'll get that on as soon as we find out. If we find out, we don't know. I don't know if Karen will let me stay any longer. We have a good long ride home today, that's for sure. Putting on a flight here of Steve Busso. I'm the next one in line to fly this. Really, I don't know how long his battery light's going to stay on. Had a battery light on for the last 10 minutes. I don't get enough practice here. Jim Damarell setting up for his official Mass Cup fly-off flight. This is Bill Hummel flying the end of his, I guess this is the second round. Anyway, this is a plane, one of the planes that they built at Scott Smith's, a project plane that they all built the same plane. Built and finished at Scotty's house. He has one night a week he devotes to helping people. Don't want to be videoing any crashes, but Bill Hummel from Albany, one of the people, and there's several others here, that have taken advantage of Scotty's hospitality and built a plane at his house. And we hope when we get the shop at Elliott Place finished, we'll be able to do the same thing, and maybe have a Saturday or one night a week that we can have little classes to help people. It'll be a neat thing. Jim Damarell, Spring Valley, New York. One of the people that's one of the regular friends of mine. It's over the house or shop or whatever on a regular basis. And we have the painting of this plane, the clear, when Jim did that on video. Some of the woodwork, I think, is on some of the videos. Jim's been one of the more helpful people in helping other people in the club. And good luck to him right now. Now what he has to do is take the score that he won advanced with and better the score. That's the deal here. Now my score went up 6%. Obviously what he's trying to do is go up as much as possible, or not go down, as the case may be. Now Jim hasn't won the Mass Cup yet, so I guess most of the people in the crowd here are pulling for him.
Oh well.
I don't even know who won intermediate yet. I'm assuming Woody Midgley did. We'll go over and look at the scoreboard, see how his score came out. I think his flight is already over. Try to get some of this going. This is a Super Tiger 51 with a Brian Ether carbon prop. Brian Ether, of course, makes those new, they're colored blue, the thin two blades. They work real well. I guess one of the things we learned today is never leave the contest early. Borelli and Ortiz and Lampione, they all went home. The weather cleared up. Turned out to be a great day. I got to fly 4 or 5 people's planes. I got to fly Busso's plane. I got to fly Ron Connor's PM. All good flying, solid planes. And I think that's one of the beauties of the Pattern Master Cardinal design, is you can build it so many different ways at so many weights. As long as you engineer up the nose and don't have the wing flimsy. You can even put a little bit too much paint on it. It's an excellent design. Give Big Jim full credit for that. He is absolutely the bombastic one, the bombastic one. Anyway, enough of the Big Jim nonsense. Damarel's official flight. Another thought is we hope you've enjoyed our contest coverage this year. We have 2 meets left to go. Flushing Meadow will be next week. The week after that, actually, it's a 2-week contest. It'll be the Circle Burner meet. And we hope you're enjoying being in this part of the country, sharing it with us, sharing the adventure. You know, it really is an adventure being in the world of stunt. And an adventure is if you don't know where you're going, then it's an adventure. If you know where you're going, it isn't quite as adventuresome as when you don't. And we've had an adventure this weekend, actually 3 nice days. Great day of antiquing, some cool things we found. Great day at the meet yesterday. We're working with Midgley, and we hope we got a good head start on sorting his stuff out. And this day, actually, the second half of the day turned out to be stunt heaven. So Borelli and Ortiz, eat your heart out. You can hear the jets in the background going up. Look, there it is, taking off right in the middle of your flight. The DC-10 goes into the clouds. And I guess after this flight, we'll waddle over to the scoreboard,
See who the new winner of the Mass Cup is. Give him a pat on the back and make him buy dinner. Now, Suarez and I, of course, we both won this thing once already. We had a little tradition going of the winner of the Mass Cup had to buy dinner for the other two guys, and the year I won, I wound up buying dinner for 30 people. Then Suarez won, and he only had to buy dinner for one person, me, so I don't know. I think Bill's ahead of the game, money-wise here. Anyway, we'll waddle over there, see what the story is. You need a hand, Jim?